Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom to the sincere brethren out there pushing this word, and to you sincere listeners. You know, so we the brothers in the SF camp. I'm the brother Quinal Wath, and with me,
I'm the brother Khanat.
Yeah, so, so we just wanted to do a quick lesson on this article here. Okay, which I came across this. And, this pretty much exposes Esau for being the devil that he is. Okay, so he has this notion out there that the world is overpopulated. There's not enough resources for the amount of people that are on the planet. But this article right here tells the complete opposite of that, man. All right, which just basically shows you, number one, that Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he's righteous, okay, and that he didn't lie when he set this earth up, man. He told the people to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, so for them to do that, there will have to be enough land down here for people to sustain themselves, man. Okay, but the red Hebrew Edomite, he pushes this notion out that there's overpopulation because, like this article says here, all right, it says half the world's population lives in just 1% of the land. Okay, so he has all these people condensed into certain areas of the world. All right, then he sends that madness out. Oh, the world is overpopulated, and then you see it on the TV. You living in a city where that's the majority. That is where the majority of people on the earth live. They live in cities. So you see that on the TV. Then you look around. It's just nothing but people around you. So it is overpopulated. Oh, well, yeah, we got to do something about this. The resources of the earth are being depleted. Well, that's a complete lie, man. And then we was driving up north. It was a few years ago, going up north to to Oregon. The whole route, man, is nothing but open land. Right. Nobody is inhabiting it. Nobody's living on it. It's just open. The animals are roaming, they doing their thing, the insects are there, But then he's telling you that the earth is overpopulated. When in this map right here, okay, it shows you how much the earth is populated, like where the earth population is at, all right? So, this is from Metrocosm, by the way. Okay, metrocosm.com. So it says half the world's population lives in the yellow. The other half lives in the black. Okay, and the parts that are yellow are the densely populated cities. Okay, so it said the map was created using gridded population data compiled by NASA. Whereas populations are typically broken down by geographic regions, such as countries or states, gridded population data divides the world population into a grid of tiny square-shaped cells without regard for administrative borders. Salakia. It said the population grid used here comprises 28 million cells, each one measuring roughly 3 miles by 3 miles. Okay, the yellow region in the map includes every cell with a population of 8,000 or more people. Since each of them has an area of about 9 square miles, the population density of each yellow cell is at least 900 people per square mile. And that's a lot of people, man. Okay, per square mile, for you to pack 900 people in there, that's where you get these cities at, man. Okay, the apartment buildings, and then if you look at some of these other places, they got these shanty towns. It's just a shack, and then you got another shack next to it, another shack next to it. They stacked on top of each other. It's a road in the middle, and everybody lives in the same place. These people aren't spread out. Oh, you get that in
Isaiah?
Woe to thee that build house to house.
I already have it queued up. Isaiah 5:8. Yeah, right when you brought the article, all that scripture, that was the first scripture that popped to my mind. And even looking at the map, the scripture even came to life even more. Looking at it, and the reason why it says that, Yeah, this is Isaiah 5:8. Woe unto them that join house to house.
And that's what you see here on the map. Okay? Everybody's joined house to house. Everybody is living in close proximity to each other, man. Okay, which is another reason why you got, a lot of crime that happen in these cities, man. People ain't supposed to live that close to each other. You're supposed to have your own land, okay? You're supposed to have your own quarters so you can be by yourself, okay? You interact with people when you go off of your land, man. Okay, well, even the animals, the way Yahweh Shem Shai set everything up, even the animals, they have their own territory, man. Okay, and that their ranges are vast. You know, if you ever watch, these different animal documentaries, they'll show you the jaguar, puma, or bear, wolves. You know, they all have their own territory, and then they mark their territory with different scents, urine, feces, and whatnot. But they always tell you on those documentaries how big the range is, and the range is huge, And the animal, it might be 10 feet, 8 feet long, but its range is massive, man. So how much more do people need their own space?
That's why there's so much crime and wickedness going on. Disease.
Yep.
These different homeless encampments. Well, there's vast amount of land. And you have all this disease and crime and just wicked imaginations because people are, able to communicate with each other and do all type of crazy things,
Yep.
Isaiah 5:8, woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there is no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth.
Yeah, till there be no place. And that's what you have in these cities, man. There's no place for you to live off of the land like Yahweh Shem Shai intended you to do. Okay? And one of the reasons why the red Hebrew Edomite set it up like this is because he wants you to rely on him. He wants you to look at him like he's God. Okay? So look, I established these cities. For you to sustain yourself in these cities, what do you have to do? You have to get a job. You got to work for bullshit currency, man. Okay? And what do you do with those currencies? You have to go to the grocery store and buy food. You got to buy water. Okay? You got to pay rent for your house, which you're supposed to be able to have a plot of land, okay, and build your house upon that, man, and live for free. Dig a well, get water for free, till the land, have cattle and eat for free, man. Okay, but this red Hebrew Edomite, this devil, he packs people in like sardines so he can have more control over them, man. And then he can push out this narrative that the world and the earth is overpopulated and the resources are scarce, which will... that's what he uses to justify his depopulation agenda, man. And you got actual people out there that are with it, that are actually with depopulating the earth. Oh yeah, there's too many people here, But you look at this map here, the majority of the earth is not being used, man. Okay?
Yeah, he has something called scarcity of resources. So then he can charge you more for a resource that's really abundant. Everything that the red Hebrew Edomite does it's evil, and he does it with a vindictive motive. He set society up like that with a vindictive motive, with a motive to control you, control your every thought, control your whole mind. He's controlling the narrative that the earth is overpopulated.
Yep.
He wants to bring the earth population down to 500 million. The Georgia Guidestones. When the earth, the majority, if you ever been in a plane, the majority of the plane ride, all you see is vast land, uninhabited.
Yep.
But he'll tell you that there's the earth. There's too many people in these cities. There's not enough jobs. There's a housing crisis.
Yep.
There's America's suffering a housing, especially out in California, is suffering a housing crisis. Not enough housing to go around for the amount of people coming into the city. When there's all types of land, but he owns the land and he wants to control how much land is out there, so he can keep a price on a certain plot of land. Because really, land it should be cheap. It should be really cheap, dirt cheap, really at that. But he controls the resources. This is all planned by the red Hebrew Edomite.
It just reminded me of this map here, which this is just in the United States, mind you. Okay, so it's federal public lands, okay, which is basically illegal for you to inhabit. It's a lot. It's illegal for you to inhabit this area, okay? So the states, which is the white part, and then it says surface and subsurface federal ownership, all federal land. So you can't live here, all right? You need permits to do certain things on this land, to fish, to hunt, to start fires, You know, and that's the majority of the United States.
Yep.
You know, it's federally owned land, man. So this damn devil, he owns the majority of the public land, okay, here in this society. Then he pushes these people into cities. He doesn't want them living off of the land, man. He wants them to live off of him. Okay? Yeah, Alaska, you know. Which Alaska, you know, is the biggest state. But look how much of it is owned by the federal government.
Yep.
You know, that's the majority of the state, man. You finished with this?
Kind of.
Okay, kind of got a precept. This is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." Which this is talking about the elites. All right, they're the ones that came up with this scenario. They're the ones that came up with this model right here, man. Let's push everybody in the cities. You know, let's leave the majority of the land unused. Let's push everybody in the cities. Okay, let's make this metropolitan living the standard. Okay, let's push everybody in the cities. Let's do away with you know, rural living. Okay, people living on the farms, people being self-sufficient. Let's do away with that. Okay, and let's push everybody into these cities, and then they'll tell them that the world is overpopulated, man. Okay, which is all part of the Hegelian dialectic that this damn devil works with, man. Which is when you go into that, the Hegelian dialectic is problem, reaction, solution. Okay, so he's the one that came up with the idea of having metropolitan cities. Okay, pushing everybody into these cities. Okay, and then the problem with that is that the resources become scarce. You know, so what's the solution? Well, you know, we got to bring GMOs in. You know, we gotta have different water sources. You know, we gotta get water from different places, so we have to build dams. You know, which the reason why he's doing those things really is to kill you, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Straight up and down. That's the only reason why he does things.
Abortion clinics.
Yep. Con.
All these different things that he creates is really to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
When there's enough resources to for everybody to have. You know, there's enough land. Well, the land, the way that Yahweh Shema Shai has created the land can never. If you treat the land right, it's self-sustaining.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's renewable energy, so to speak. Esau's always talking about renewable energy. Well, the Heavenly Father, He's created renewable energy.
Yep.
None of these resources are can actually be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
They're just recycled in the cycle of the earth. You know, but Esau, he pollutes it, so now they can't recycle. You know.
Yeah, and until you there's not enough of them. Yeah, but like you said, that abortion thing, that's one of them. And then also these women not having babies till a certain age. Them joining the workforce, that's a part of population control, man. Okay, because back in the day, the woman would have children young, you know, 12, 13, 14, 15, around that age when they pretty much first started having their period, man. Okay, but what did he do? Oh, look, you gotta, the women's live. Okay, you women have to work. And these women, they completely with it, man. All right, like the you know, the bug outs that they are, they're completely with it. So they put having children and establishing a family on hold to establish a career. Then by the time, you know, they reach 30, 45, you know, or 35, 40, that's when they want to have children. Their wombs are not as strong as it was when they were younger. You know, so it's hard for them to have children, man.
And the children come out weaker also. Because the wombs are not as strong, which, you know, that's part of that population control.
That's right.
You know, which is controlling your mind more and more. You're totally bought into this system, or you totally bought into the way that the Arabian Edomite controls you to think. You know, oh, it's not enough resources. Oh, it's not enough land. I got to get an apartment. Oh, then you work your whole life to get a mortgage, which a mortgage kills you. A mortgage is a death note. When there's enough land, oh, you don't know how to till the land. You can't grow crops.
You don't know how to.
You don't know how to
do that. That's hard work, man. You don't want to do that. Let's just get an apartment. Well, now they got the micro apartments coming out.
Tough sheds.
Yep. Because it's too many people in the city. There's not enough housing. You know, the housing is so scarce, you know, and the square footage is getting so expensive that you have to live in a micro apartment, man. Okay? You live like a slave. All right?
Well, we read the scripture. The first scripture says, "Woe."
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go into that, I'll just bring it up real quick. Just in the regular dictionary. You know, I went into it the other day. It says, "Woe" means it says great sorrow or distress, and that's pretty much the state of these people in the United States.
Yep.
Particularly, we speak about United States, but it's around the whole world because this is happening in all around the whole world.
Or you go to China, Hong Kong. Well, China is one of the most densely populated countries on the earth. The major cities that they have is very densely populated, and those cities are full of pollution, man. Well, they sell canned air out there. That's how bad it is, man.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a housing crisis. I watched a documentary. There's a housing crisis in China, to where they actually live in cages. Like the people of China, the working class, they actually live in cages because out there in China, in those big cities, they have some of the most expensive plots of land. It costs billions upon billions of dollars just to build on the land, and then you have to have tons of money just to actually rent a space there. So the people who work there, the people who work in those low level jobs, they actually have to live in so-called these abandoned buildings, these old ass buildings within, like you have an apartment, but they'll have like section off rooms with actual cages in it.
True.
But that's the philosophy of the Red Hue Edomite.
Yep.
Because people weren't living like that before Esau came in control. People were very spread out. They had their own land. You know, you wouldn't even see people possibly.
Okay.
You know, for miles and miles on end. So it was like a rare occasion for people to come and visit you. You know, you didn't have all these developed roads, so to speak, or you can live out in the wilderness and just be out there in the wilderness.
Okay.
You know, you and your family.
Yep.
I'll read a couple more of these synonyms. It says misery.
Yeah, and that's what this brings. This brings misery, man. Why? Because if you live in a city, you can't, you don't have control, basically, over your own livelihood, man. You relying on the government to provide for you. You know, you relying on these different corporations that bring the food in, that deliver you water. You know, you can't really be self-sufficient. You know,
sorrow, distress.
Yeah, that's what it also brings that, man, because you living so close to people, you hearing everything that's going on with them, man. You know, they get loud, they have a party or whatnot, you know, they, turning up, you gonna hear everything that's going on over there, man. The different domestic disputes that these families got going on, you gonna hear all of that, man. You know, and then these apartments, you literally stacked on top of each other, man. You hear what's going on in the next room, man.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And then also when so-called natural disaster comes, tons of people die.
Yep.
You know? Yep. Say it's a flash flood, you know. Maybe, if the people were spread out, it may hit like one family or it might hit one person.
Okay.
But everybody's condensed. It could wipe out a whole neighborhood, like Paradise.
Yep.
Paradise is so-called, the whole neighborhood, the whole city got totally decimated. You know? That's distress, that's sorrow.
Yep.
Sadness, unhappiness.
Yeah, and these people are unhappy. Okay? As opposed to if you live, another thing, it actually brings stress. You living in these cities, man. Because you're supposed to be around nature. You know, that's the way that Yahweh Shem Shai set up our bodies. Okay? We actually, feed off the frequency that nature gives off, man. Okay, the different plants and animals. We feed off of that and it lowers your stress levels. You know, you living in these cities and you hearing all these sounds, these artificial sounds, that heightens your stress levels, man. You know?
Heartache, heartbreak, desolation, despair, depression.
Yeah. That's a part of living in these cities, man. Okay? Which, I did a video on that a while back. They say if you go out to the wilderness, all right, you just go to where nature is, you sit out there for a little while, you'll calm down, man.
Yep.
Well, it's so heavy that all you have to do is just listen to nature sounds and you'll calm down and relax. You know? But the Red Hebrew Edomite, he's completely done away with that in these cities, man. Which that's literally one of the philosophies of, the so-called Illuminati. They want to tame nature and do away with it. You know? Well, he got fake plants. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's more, but that's about it, man. It's
God.
Yeah, this should make you mad, man. Stuff like this would make you upset. But you people of America, you people around the world, you're so, you know, you bought into this American way. You bought into this Edomite way, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's why you're suffering the consequences of it.
That's right.
Depression, stress. Mm-hmm. You know, murders is up. Suicide is up. People overdosing on drugs and alcohol.
Yep.
Because they're not in nature. They're not around good vibrations. You know, they're around negative and artificial vibrations. Like there's vibrations, okay, in the airways that you're not even seeing that you're getting hit with. Mm-hmm. Radio waves, high frequency waves, Wi-Fi, these different cell phone signals. You know that's messing you up. But when you're in nature, everything works harmoniously. You know. You're one with nature. We're people of the earth. Good. Which Esau, he's cursed from the earth. That's why he doesn't want to be anywhere near nature. He'll destroy things. He'll make artificial rocks. Yep. He'll make artificial plants. You know, he has these exhausts of these cars going out, destroying the ozone layer. You know, just total madness and confusion in these cities. You know, which that makes you in total madness and confusion. Also, that brings you down. And then that brings you in a heightened state of stress to where you're liable to snap on people, run people off the road, kill people. Yep. You know? He basically puts demons on you.
God. And so, continuing on in the article, it says the yellow region in the map includes every cell with a population of 8,000 or more people. It says since each of them has an area of about 9 square miles, the population density of each yellow cell is at least 900 people per square mile. And that's a hell of a lot of people, man. Okay, a square mile, you stuffing 900 people in there. All right, and all these people are supposed to have houses, they're supposed to have land. Okay, and that's how Yahweh Shem Yahushai set it up. We're supposed to have territory as people, man. Okay, but essentially the red Hebrew Edomite has taken that away from you. You know, by setting you up in these cities. Okay, it says roughly the same population density as the state of Massachusetts. Okay, it says conversely, the black region is made up of those cells with populations of less than 8,000 people. In other terms, the population density throughout the black area is less than 900 people per square mile. In total, the world's population is evenly split between the two areas, half living in the yellow and half living in the black. Okay, and this it says plenty of open space. All right, as discussed in a previous post, by 2100, the world's population is projected to balloon to 11 billion. Which this is just, you know, the red Hebrew Edomite, you know, this is his imagination. All right, he don't know what the hell is going to happen. Okay. It says, as discussed in the previous post, by 2100, the world's population is projected to balloon to 11 billion. Looked at in isolation, that number seems astoundingly high. Yeah, so you thinking about that, well, shit, if it's, you know, 11 billion people on the earth and they all living in these cities, the world's going to collapse. Right. Society's going to collapse. Civilization's going to collapse. Does the earth have enough room to accommodate so many people? Judging by this map, the answer is a clear yes. While overpopulation may be a localized problem in some of the densely populated areas of Asia, see population maps of Bangladesh, India, and Tokyo. And Tokyo, man, you go there, it's crazy. It's people everywhere, all on the street. You know, it's one intersection. It's a famous intersection. I forget the name of it, but they'll shut the whole, like all the traffic will shut down, and people just crossing the street. There's millions of people, man. You know, people be bumping into each other and stuff. You know, and all these people are living in that region. They living in that city, man. Okay, you're not supposed to live like that. All right, it says the vast majority of the world's land is actually very sparsely populated. Okay, in the terms of area, the black region covers 99% of the Earth's land, particularly in Africa, where nearly all of the population growth is expected to occur. There is an abundance of open space for more people to live, and nobody's living there. Okay, everybody wants to move into these cities. Why? Because they want to follow the way of the red Hebrew Edomite. Mm-hmm. All right? These people, you know, you go down to the land of Ham, you go to these different cities, Okay, and just even the country in general. There's no reason why these people should be poor, man.
Yeah.
Okay, but the reason why they are poor is because they're modeling their society after the system that the Red Hebrew Edomites set up. Okay, they're not really living off the land over there. You know, they living in villages, they living in houses. You know, and they feel like they destitute because they don't have electricity. You know, they don't have water. They're relying on outside food sources to be bought into them. You know, when you can literally live off the land, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai set up everything for us to be able to live off of the earth. Okay, what did he say when he first created man? Okay, he gave us the herbs of the field, man. All right. Then Leviticus, the 11th chapter, outlines what you can eat and what you can't eat. So there should be really no reason why people should be starving here on the earth, man. You got a precept?
Kind of Proverbs 3 and 31.
Okay, let me bring it up.
Yep, it says Proverbs 3 and 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Yeah, choose none of his ways. All right? The way that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai first gave man to live, that's the perfect way, man. Okay? You have your house, you have your land, you know, you got your you can set up a garden. Okay? You have different orchards that you can set up. You know, you have your cattle, you good, man.
Yep.
All right? You got a river or a creek next to you, you can even dig a well. All right, all for free, by the way. Okay, which that right there just relieves stress. Okay, oh, I gotta pay the bill. My water gonna get cut off. You know,
It's like, man, this place is pure hell, man. God damn.
You gotta go buy firewood, and then he passes certain ordinances in the city to where, okay, if the air quality is bad, you can't burn firewood.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll potentially have to freeze to death at the expense of sparing the air for everybody else in the area that you live in, man.
Well, you in these cities, you gotta actually buy bottled water.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Here it is. He ships in water to you, right? He pumps water to you for a fee, of course, and then the water's polluted.
Yeah,
it actually has pesticides, chemicals. He actually puts chemicals in the water to dumb you down. You know. So these cities are toxic. Well, the majority of people who live in these rural areas, they're a lot better than people who live in these densely populated cities.
Good.
Their mind, they live on a slower. They have a slower life, which is less stress.
Yep.
That's why when they come into a big city, they kind of bug out. You know, because it's too fast for them.
Yep.
You know, because there's so much going on, different smells. Oh, you don't even see no animals.
Yeah.
You don't see no animals. You don't hear any animals. You don't hear any crickets. You see a squirrel, you bug out because you don't really see squirrels. Okay, the most you'll see is these dogs, and these dogs are catching pure hell.
Yeah, they got arthritis and stuff, man.
Cancer, they have cancer. You know, people in the city are overweight. You know, people's bodies are all messed up because they're sitting down all the time. They have sedentary jobs, lazy, just watching Netflix all day. You know, you can go to a store, get alcohol any time of the day, get meat any time of the day, get all type of bad food any time of the day. When you're having your own plot of land, you're literally eating everything organic.
Okay. And you have to work to get it. You know, you got to put in effort to get that. The water, you got to go get that. You got to go to the well, and then you got to put the pail in there, and then you got to pull it out. You know, or if you have to get it from a river or a creek, you got to walk to the creek, man. Everything's just not readily available there to you. You know, you have to work to get it. You know, which makes you appreciate it more. You know, you don't take it for granted.
I'll read this last verse. It says, "For the forward is an abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous."
God. Let's jump back to this. Plenty of space. So it said nearly all the world's population growth by 2100 will occur in Africa. By that time, the populations of Asia, Europe, and the Americas will be flat or shrinking. Which, he's probably right about one thing. America, ain't nobody going to be living here. All right? In North America, all right? Babylon the Great, the United States specifically. Okay? So it says not all of the details are visible in the map at the top. So I'm gonna get the zoomed in version so you can actually see you know, how sparsely populated the earth is, man. Okay? Yeah, Canada alone. You know, when you go up to Canada, there's a lush, fertile regions up there, man. Nobody's living there. You know, everybody's living in these cities. You know? Alaska, this is, if I'm not mistaken, it has to be where Anchorage is.
That's Anchorage right there.
You know? That's where the majority of the people live at. You know?
Yeah. I've been at Anchorage. That's where everybody's at, right there. Anchorage, and then there's Wasilla, which is about an hour away. You have some people going down south of Juneau. But pretty much that whole area is just it's beautiful, and there's nobody there. You know, you can just be out there and nobody will even know you're there. You know.
Good. Yeah, Canada is completely dark. You know, nobody's living there. And all this is, you know, quote unquote, they have arable land, which, you know, Esau uses that to say that you can till the land and grow crops. You know, but a lot of these places you don't need to till the ground. You know, the Most High has set up ecosystem to where you can survive off of, man. Okay? There's certain bugs that you can eat that are there. There's animals that you can eat that are there. And there's water sources, which that's really all you need to survive, man. Okay? There's trees that you can chop down for wood, you know? Yeah, this man's the devil, man.
When you look at it,
all this area is not being used, you know. And there's people that live in the rainforest, so you can't say that, oh, you know, the rainforest is uninhabitable, you know. And then we go over here to the eastern hemisphere. All this land is being sparsely used, man. Okay. Damn near all the turkey is black, man. Okay.
I got a quick precept.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's gonna be Sirach 39 and 26.
So kill it real quick.
Yeah, Sirach 39 and 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grapes, and oil and clothing.
Good. So you can get that damn near any part of the world. All right. All these places that are dark, okay, you can pretty much find that there. All right. Probably with the exception of Antarctica and different other parts of the Arctic, you know. But you can make that in any other part of the world, man. Okay, but the Red Hebrew Edomite, he doesn't want you doing that because he wants you to rely on him. All right, which all of this is going, you know, lead towards that mark of the beast. Okay, well, look, you're living in cities. He's going to shut the cities down. Okay, and then since everybody's relying on him anyway, okay, well, look, if you want to continue living here, you want to continue living your life, you have to put this chip inside of you. You know?
Which you did have, like, marketplaces and stuff like that where people go and, you know, sell goods. You know, maybe you have honey. Maybe the next person has tomatoes and different such things as such, you know, wine, you know. So there's a barter system set up, but people didn't live in these densely populated cities of 2-3 million, 500,000. You know, everybody packed in. I mean, it's just in this neighborhood right here. Look how many people are packed in. You know, no parking on the streets. And then Esau regulates where you can park. Esau regulates where you can be. He regulates where businesses are. You got homeless encampments all around. And then the people who actually own homes, they literally live right next to another family.
Yep.
No yard. You know, just a divider, a fence, if that.
Yeah, when you got a paved driveway. You know, your front yard is paved. It's all cement. You got a little grass lawn there. You know, just for you to look at, to make your house look nice. When the earth is there for you to cultivate it and live off of it, man. All right.
Man.
You got anything else?
No, that was it.
All right, come on. I got a few precepts here.
Okay.
Isaiah 45.
Okay.
Well, I'll read it.
Okay.
It's Isaiah 45 and 18. It says, "For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that created the heavens, the Most High himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain."
Yeah, so the Lord, he created it for a particular reason, for man to dwell on the planet Earth. Okay, to till the earth, to take care of the earth, to use the certain plants and the animals that the Lord deemed, viable to the use of man to use. He didn't create it just to do it for no reason.
Yeah.
That's what Esau will make it seem like. Or he'll cut down whole forests. We don't need this. Well, that was a viable part in the ecosystem. That could be used for the use of man. For land, for different medicines. Out of the earth. Different streams and water. You can tap into the water system, so you can drink. You can build homes. You can raise your family. You have cattle. You got cattle. You have these different animals that you herd. Which makes you rich, sheep and goat.
Yeah, because with the animals in particular, that's what you can use that to make clothing. If you got sheep, you go to the shears. You can shear them yourself. If you knew that technique, you can shear it, make spindles of wool, and then you make clothes with that.
Yep.
Basically, being self-sufficient. You can use that to barter. You can trade the wool for something else. It says, "For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that created the heavens, the Most High himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited."
Right, so he created the earth so we can inhabit the earth, to be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
All right, he didn't say, okay, you know what, we're going to bunch you into these mega cities. We're going to set it up to where, okay, you're going to have a child at 35. You're going to get a job. Nah, he didn't set it up that way. He gave his land. He gave borders.
Okay.
He gave borders, and he gave everybody a plot of land on the planet Earth. Okay, and then even within that, you can expand if you're not encroaching on another nation's border.
Yep.
So that map proves that there's a massive amount of land that's just untouched and untapped. Okay, with different mineral resources, different animals. Okay, different plant life. Streams. You got streams and lakes and these water sources where fish. Man, I was watching some videos. I mean, you can literally live off. You can literally just live off the land, and you don't need Esau to tell you what to do. Or you can go fishing, or you can build a cabin.
Yeah.
If you know carpentry, you like you were going into. If you have different sheep, you can have clothing. Linen. You got cotton. You got different plants. Like hemp. And cotton. Okay, silk. All these different fabrics that the Most High he created so you can wear. So you got clothing, or you have different minerals. Salt. There's salt. You can have salt.
You can get salt from the ocean.
You get salt from the ocean. There's so much life out there for you to enjoy. But Esau, what does he do? He says no. It's overpopulated.
Yeah.
Okay. You and then he gives you stipulations and guidelines of how you can live your life. Which he's pretty much oppressing you. And which these people they don't know. They're all bugged down in their mind. They think this is the way of living. But the Lord, he created the earth for a particular reason, for us to enjoy and inhabit it. This is really supposed to be a paradise. But under the rulership of the Red Hebrew Edomite, he has made it literally hell. Everybody's body's all messed up. Everybody's sick. Oh, and then if there's a disease, it can easily be passed around in the city. It can become an epidemic. It's gonna overnight spread. But if you're isolated, you can be quarantined. You're not going to catch it. You're not going to. The people of the city is not going to catch that. That so-called disease.
Okay. And so it said, he created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. So if he formed it to be inhabited, how can the earth be overpopulated? The Most High made it so people can dwell on the earth.
Okay.
He
made it very vast.
Very
large. You're not going to overpopulate. You can't overpopulate the earth. Okay. First and foremost, and Esau knows that. He knows how big the earth is. He studies it. He looks at everything. But since he wants to gain control, he wants to be God.
Yep.
You know, that's ultimately what it comes down to. He wants to be God. He wants to tell you when, where, how, and why you should do something. You know?
Yeah, 1 square mile for one person, that's a lot of land, man. You know, for one person and their family. You know? And there's a lot of land here on the earth for, you know, different families to inhabit. You know, but the red Hebrew Edomite wants you in these cities. Okay, it says, so I am the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and there is none else. Oh, another thing that came to mind, what happened when all the nations came together at the Tower of Babel? The Heavenly Father, he destroyed it, he confounded their language, and he made them disperse. You know? So I got this, and we could probably wrap up on this here.
Right. Yeah, Esau's getting totally exposed, man. It's basically another expose of the wickedness of the red Hebrew Edomite. You know? Oh, can I bring this out real quick?
Can.
Job 24. I'll start at the top. It says, why seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty, do they know him not see his days? Some remove the landmarks.
Yeah, which that's Esau. Okay, which the scriptures tell you you're not supposed to remove the ancient landmark. You're not supposed to remove the border that was set up. Okay, the red Hebrew Edomite, he does that though. Or he removed the landmark, the land that you had originally. Then he'll push you into some corner, and then he'll put other people in there, man. Then tell you, oh look, see the earth is overpopulated. There's too many people here. You know.
They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. They drive away the ass of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox for a pledge. Well, look at the other tribe of Gad. Look, Gad was dwelling, you know, in America, totally fine. You know, there were skirmishes with tribes, but nonetheless, they were living one with the earth. You know, it wasn't overpopulated. It was villages. You know, there's villages, but it wasn't. All right, you got a million people in one village. You know, with 1 million cars. With people on drugs, you know?
Well, even the cities that, you know, because Gad did have cities here. Yeah, all the tribes that were over here, they had cities established. Those cities were sustainable, man. So they had the, you know, the city center, and then on the outskirts, which that is how Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai told us to set up suburbs. The suburbs. That's how he told us to set up and establish our societies. So you had a city, and then on the outskirts, the suburbs, that's where the farming would happen. You know? That way, you know, the people inside the city could be fed, and then the people on the outside, they had enough to sustain themselves as well, man. Okay? But this nigga, he's shipping fruit from, you know, hundreds of miles across, you know, the land.
China.
Yep, yeah. Putting stuff on boats. And people rely on these things. It's not just, okay, this is an exotic fruit, you know, I'm going to try it. You know, people rely on these imports to survive, man. You know?
Yep. It says they drive away the ass of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox for a pledge. They turn the needy out of the way. The poor of the earth hide themselves together.
Yeah, so they all huddled up, man. Okay. Keep going.
It says, behold, as wild asses in the desert, go they forth to their work, rising betimes for a prey. The wilderness yielded food for them and their children. They reap every one his corn in his field, and they gather the vintage of the wicked. They cause the naked to lodge without clothing, that they have no covering in the cold. They are wet with the showers of the mountain and embrace the rock for the want of a shelter. They pluck the fatherless from the breast and take a pledge of the poor. They cause him to go naked without clothing, and they take away the sheaf from the hungry, which make oil within their walls and tread their winepress and suffer thirst. Men groan from out of the city, and the soul of the wounded crieth out. Yet the Most High layeth not folly to them. They are those that rebel against the light. They know not the way thereof, nor abide in the path thereof.
Which is talking about Esau, man. Okay, it said they are those that rebel against the light. What's the light? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So they know not the ways thereof, nor abide in the path thereof. They're wicked, man. which is the reason why he's doing all these things. Okay, he's basically setting it up, for the nation of Israel to destroy themselves. Okay, which that's really why these societies are set up like this. This is detrimental to us in particular. Because the Heavenly Father, He gave us a certain way to live. Okay, and there's a certain way that we have to live so that we can prosper, man. If we go astray from that, we're gonna fall, and it's gonna be very detrimental to us. Okay.
That was pretty much it, unless you want me to keep going.
Nah, that was it.
Okay.
So this is Genesis 1, and I'll start at 20. Genesis 1 and 20. It says, "And the power said, or the Most High said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And the Most High created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And the Most High saw that it was good. And the Most High blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the sea, and let the fowl multiply in the earth." Okay, so he said, fill the waters in the sea. So he wants the waters to be full of life, man. Okay, it says, "In the evening and the morning were the fifth day." Okay, and the Most High said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And the Most High made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And the Most High saw that it was good. Okay, and the Most High said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Okay, so the Most High created man in his own image. In the image of the Most High created he him. Male and female created he them. Okay, verse 28, which this is the point. It says, "And the Most High blessed them, and the Most High said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth." Okay, and subdue it. All right, so let's look this word up. Replenish. Which the word there is mala'ah. Okay, which means to fill, be full, fullness, abundance, to be full, to be accomplished, to be ended, to consecrate, fill the hand. So the Most High, which, hey man, this is another reason why you red Hebrew Edomites are going to be destroyed. You are breaking this commandment that Yahweh Shem Yahushai gave to really all the creatures on the earth. Okay, but also into man in particular. He said, "Be fruitful and multiply." You got these densely populated cities all over the world, man. Okay, the Most High said, "Fill the land." This nigga, nah, you live here. Just focus on this one point. Okay, the Most High wants the whole earth to be covered with people, but what do you see under the rule of the red Hebrew Edomite? You got these densely populated areas on the earth, man. Okay. So this is just another reason why you red Hebrew Edomites are going to be destroyed, man. Okay, look, all this land where you're supposed to fill, and you're not doing it. Okay. So let's get back here. It said to consecrate, fill the hand, to be filled, be armed, be satisfied, be accomplished, be ended, to fill, to satisfy, to fulfill, accomplish, complete, to be filled, to mass themselves against. So basically the whole earth is supposed to be filled with all the creatures, man. That includes men. Okay? But that's not going on. All right, why? Because the red Hebrew Edomite, he's in power. He has these people living in these cities, man. Okay? So it says, and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowls of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Okay? And that's what's supposed to be going on, man. But that's not going on. Okay? And the red Hebrew Edomite, he has this set up so he can basically, pass his witchcraft onto you people and say, oh, the earth is overpopulated. The resources are scarce. We have to do something about this, which when the Most High made this statement, okay, he knows how much resources are on the earth. Okay, he knows if the earth is overpopulated and if the resources are going to diminish and society will collapse, man. Okay, and just like we read in Isaiah, he's not going to let that happen because he created this earth to be inhabited, man. All right, which this is just another reason why the red Hebrew Edomite has to be destroyed. He has to be taken out of the way, man. Okay, and so we're going to wrap it up there. We want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom.
Shalom.